Ooh, Big Daddy Hack.
Welcome to Big Daddy Hacks Live.
What are you wearing and why?
Do you know what he's wearing?
You know what he's wearing.
Don't act like you know. I can't even say it that way. Like you don't, No.
No.
Eh? Don't you know, eh?
Tell us.
Know what's going on, bro. We trying to, I'm always looking for a way, man, to get to my end goal. And since, people that's known me, like Blue, for instance, for a very long time, man, they know what my end goal was. I've always wanted to not only be a part of a bat company, which I've been blessed enough to do that a lot, but to start a bat company from scratch.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing right now, man. We're giving the people kind of what they want, in a sense. People that are with other companies. A lot of people don't know the folks that they're swinging. You know what I'm saying? The people that are behind it. I like that. I'm able to start this from the beginning and get out there and interact with the people, and just put the product in people's hands. So myself, Mark, and Rip, Laser Dave is involved a lot. We're doing it. So this has been a long goal for me, long, big goal for me.
So
personally.
tell us about the product itself.
I mean, as everybody knows, we started out with the bat bag, man. It's got the ice box on it. That took the world by storm.
Nice.
That thing's humongous. It literally holds all your pitching needs, every bat that you want. So all the bat hoarders will be happy to have every arsenal in the bag at once. You got the ice box, of course, the big 7-inch wheels. The
Those
cooler
wheels
is.
are fat. Those are nice.
Whose idea was that? I want to know.
I think that was Mark and Rip, actually. Mark and Rip, man. Mark's an engineer, so dude's not stupid by far. He acts crazy as hell, but he's very intelligent guy. And then Rip, his background is just crazy big, extensive. So I think they kind of got their brains together and said, "Hey, let's try this out. See what happens."
So whoever designed it, and if it doesn't leak, is a genius.
Yeah.
So that was one of my concerns with it.
Sure.
When they brought it to me, it was like, bro, we're going to put a cooler in the back. I'm like, listen, man, a lot of people's tried this shit. It didn't work. The cooler is not a real cooler. You're putting a regular zipper on it. He was like, nah, our zipper doesn't leak. I'm like, what do you mean our zipper doesn't leak, bro? Like, zipper, bro. So I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but on the zipper itself, it has a flap that comes over the zipper, and it just seals everything as you're zipping the cooler up. And we actually put ice in there, put some liquids in there, and it was crazy, but it did not leak. I'm pretty excited about it. Like the way that they came up with that rubber piece that goes over the zipper is kind of genius.
I had a couple questions for you on that too before, because we're talking about product, and the bag's a big one, and then going into the bats. But with the bags, from looking at it, I love the way the wheels were made, how that setup is, and it looks like it's designed. They're going to last you a long time, but like anything, like a vehicle, anything over time, there's certain things that start to wear that need to be replaced. It looks like that the way you designed how the wheels sitting there, that if over time, if you have an issue, they should be able to be replaceable. Where like the DeMarie Spec Ops bag was a big bag. It was a really nice bag, had the cooler concept in it. Yeah, it leaked. But the wheel was a great bag. Mine looked brand new. One wheel went to shit, and there's almost no way. Unlike the Black Ops bags, you could change it out, put it like a skateboard.
For sure.
You couldn't do it to
I did that when I was with them.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that the bag has got some modular parts to it?
Say again?
Are you telling me that the bag has got modular parts to it where you can interchange them as they wear out, as they see fit?
I'm not too sure about those wheels, only because they're 7-inch wheels. I'm sure that there is some kind of a rod going in between holding two wheels there. And if we do get that issue, coming up in the in the near future, then we will have to order more wheels. So I mean,
because, a lot of times the bag doesn't necessarily wear out, except for like
right.
No.
airport, but the handle, so if someone can figure out a way to make those parts modular, basically replaceable, right?
Right.
Well, then you can just say, you know what, instead of fixing this, I can just sell you a new handle for $15
Yeah, exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like if your bag's all worn out and used, you kind of any ball player wants new. You like to get new, but if you just got it and your bag looks fresh and something like that goes up, now you're like, dang, I got to replace the whole bag because this happened. That kind of sucks. But the other thing I was going to ask you, and this is a big one because it happens to a lot of really nice bags. I've seen some that are done right. As of late, like we talked about it, the way that you guys did the bag when we talked about this in Alabama a little bit, I think it's an amazing looking bag. And who got it really close, I think, to right was Smash It's bag coming out. The one that they had that's a nice ass bag too.
Right.
And it looks like, you guys were like, hey, that's nice. Let me make it better. Let's take a spin off it. We're going to make our own and we're going to make it even better. But the one thing I've seen on a lot of these bags, even the really nice ones, are the zippers. You use it and then snap. Out there playing, you've been around the athletes, you are an athlete. And the fact that you know what you've liked, what's pissed you off with bags, what it was lacking. And I think kind of go hand in hand when we start talking about the bats next. But I think you're the kind of guy that if you don't like it, you don't want to have your name on it. You don't want to be
for sure. And I've always been a firm believer in that, man. With every company that I've been with, if I'm not involved in how say the bat or the bag, I've never had a bag, but the bat feels like, I don't want to be a part of it. I was a strong believer in, believing in your product that you're pushing. I tell people all the time, they always ask me, hey man, what kind of bat should I get? I'm like, bro, to be honest with you, I'm not going to push this brand or this brand on you. I'm going to say swing them all and start narrowing it down to whatever feels good in your hands, man. Like if a bat don't feel good in your hands, I'm not going to sell it to you. Like that's stupid. That's not how I think things should be. And a lot of people would sell it, but I'm not really pressed for the money type thing. I want people to be comfortable at the plate because I know what it feels like to be uncomfortable at the plate.
Sure. What exactly is your involvement in Juno?
I am going to run the bats basically. I really don't have much to do with the apparel side or the bag side. My knowledge is in the bats. As you know, I've been with a couple companies and the R&D behind it, it takes some experience. So I think I'm the knowledge behind that stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, yeah. Kind of going into it because, Juno's really, really new. A few of us that were lucky enough to be able to meet with you and talk to a few of the guys, like got a little sneak peek of that it was coming out, that it was going to be something. But for the people that don't know what Juno really is, they're just saying, "Oh, that's Flip stuff," and that's Flip's pushing down. That's his thing. Where the name come from and the logo is there meaning behind it?
I don't know the exact meaning behind Juno, but Mark is Italian. I believe Rip has some Italian in him, so they kind of had the concept of Juno. And I want to say Mark told me it was like the god of gods or something that has to do with way back in the day. It's either she's the god of gods or something to that nature. So, it's kind of a powerful meaning behind it. And we got a lot to do with the women's organization this year. So having a woman, as your logo is pretty dope, in my opinion. Some people don't like it. But I think it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool because I was trying to look into some of it too, and that it was hard to find out exactly what it was. And there's a lot of Greek mythology and stuff behind there. So I was like, well, I wonder what the meaning is. But, kind of going off of that, one of the things, like we've talked about this offline, you and I have, and talked about, you've been a guy that's got a lot of experience. You have been with multiple manufacturers and you've tested out bats, but every one of them that had your name on it, everybody wanted to get their hands on. And there's people that look at things differently. I look at it like you've touched a lot of multiple companies and you made a lot of hot sales for them and you made a lot of bats, a big name, especially having your name on it. And the way you perform, yes, it's you, but I've seen a lot of people pick up a bat with your name on it and perform really well. So it says more than, it says something about the product as well. But having that experience and coming in now and doing your own thing, I think, you've been able to test so much that you can fine tune it to have a really good product. And the video that we had on your advertisement video, the one in Alabama, let's talk about that, because that was like your guys' first really testing the bats out, correct? Like getting a good video with it.
So getting a good video, yeah. Right before Alabama, I was able to go down to Columbus, Georgia. What is the base called in Columbus?
Which one?
I forget the base in Columbus, Georgia, but
Benning?
Yeah,
That's around Benning, right?
Yeah, Benning. Had some folks come out. Appreciate them. If they're watching, thank you again. And they open up the stadium, man. And I always want to hit a ball in the stadium just to see, how it works when the wind's blocking and all this stuff. I mean, I think about different shit when it comes to this. But yeah, that one and Alabama was kind of our first time getting it in a lot of my folks' hands and getting some good footage on it, man. I mean, that just happened to be one of the good ones.
I had in my notes to talk about Benning, but I was relating that one more a little bit to the ASA, USA side of things, which we'll get to in a little bit, because right now,
For sure.
I was going to say, hey, how was your Thanksgiving? And go with it. Brandon went right for the meat and potatoes, like, hey, tell us about Juno. So I was like, hey, we're rolling with it. So what's going to be the difference with your bats? What's going to make them different than any of the other manufacturers out there?
So I've never had a chance to really swing a Miken or Worth, and I'm starting here to get to something. In my opinion, these bats, they kind of feel like, swinging with all the balls that we've hit it with, they feel like a Miken, in the very beginning. I'm sorry, it feels like a Worth in the very beginning. And I feel like that the Creature and the Freak, feel two completely different ways when it's in a wrapper. I feel like this bat kind of felt like the Creature a little bit in the beginning and ended up feeling like a Freak 12. Like it was gas when you got about 250 swings on it. It was ridiculous. I say that to say this is that I've kind of liked the way that they're turning out right now. So I don't think I'm going to change much from the MR1 prototype. Because they feel exactly like that. And if that's what these guys are swinging against me, I'm kind of pissed off that I've never done it. But yeah, they to me, they feel like a Miken, man. It's crazy as hell.
What are they testing in the wrapper, and then what are they testing after about 250?
So these are the 240 compressions. In the wrapper, I think they were testing at 285, 300. I think so. And then with about, I think we tested it after 100 swings, and then we tested it in New Jersey 2 weeks ago. After well over 250, 300 swings of stadiums, pro-Ms, gold dots, platinum balls, it tested at 250. And that's with a bunch of big dudes swinging it. Huh?
Is it roughly holding at 250?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen some of the cats on the video that swung it. That bat was down in Florida doing Worlds. We were swinging it then. Columbus, we swung it. We swung it in New Jersey. I mean, it's all kind of walks of life swinging this bat, getting really good results.
It opens up. You can hit it. You can hit it a little bit. It's not something that you hit 20 times now you have to worry about failing. But it opens up and it kind of holds once it gets down to a certain point. What it sounds like.
Yeah, which is what's supposed to happen with these new bats. I've seen some weird shit already, but yeah, it's supposed to do just that with these bats. So Mark kind of nailed that one on the head the first time, which is very rare. We had a bet going on that we wouldn't pass on the first time because I'm like, bro, I've never been with a company that passed on the first try. Like, yeah, we passed on the first try. That shit was crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, Brandon, because I see you got something on your mind, but I watched Flip hit this home run down at Worlds. I mean, it was a crazy monster shot. We're down there watching him, and I talked to him after the game. He was like, really? I did? Like, doesn't look at his home runs, anything like that, right? To see how excited he was when we were talking out in Alabama at the Black Circuit tournament, when he came up and see how excited he was, showing me the video on how the bat sounded and how far some of the balls he was hitting with the Juno bat was exciting for me because, like, he just seemed like, when he was playing, like, yeah, that's cool that it went far. I didn't really look at it. I was like, he was one of the first ones I've seen hit. But to see how excited he got over that, and that's what telling me a lot about the bat, that it has to be a really good product for him to get excited about how well it was performing, how well the ball was jumping off.
For sure. It's super exciting.
Watched him hit?
Have I ever watched him hit?
Have you ever watched him hit?
Yeah. Yeah, plenty. He hits a
saying that he hit a creature is not really saying a lot.
no. It is.
You understand what you're saying, right? It's
Exactly.
like, I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
smash
it was about the game, though. It was about how the game was going, and it just turned tides. They were up, and now they was getting close. They're battling. They start chasing. He got in the box, got a call. Looked like he didn't really like the call. And the next pitch, he hit it. And when he hit, I've seen him hit a lot of home runs, but this one he hit was out there on the Whites, once facing the stadium. And he not only hit it out of the field, but he almost hit it out of the women's field on the other side that faces directly the same way. I mean, it would have been a home run on that field, too.
I remember which one you're talking about, too. The backside home.
The very first game.
Center field.
Yep. Yeah, the very first game. It's
Yeah.
not center field. People were hitting the bleachers like they hit it, and that's a good shot, too. But he hit it over everything, and it was a home run on the women's fields over there, on the fast pitch fields. And I was like, holy shit, that is a shot. Yeah. But that was with a Pro-Am, and I'll let you get into that later, Brandon.
Yeah. So my question is that this 240 bat, do you feel it's hotter or as hot the 220 bats that you've been swinging?
Oh, yeah. I feel like the Juno 240 is – I haven't put it on the radar yet, but just seeing from the different fields that I've hit this bat at and different kind of weather and as well as the balls, I mean, these balls are going very far. And for it not to be failing yet, because I've lost all my bets when it came to this whole making this bat thing, because I'm always betting against it. I try to think of every scenario, and I've lost every damn bet, man. The one was that we weren't going to pass compression in the first try. The second one that this bat wasn't going to pass after all these big cats have swung it. I'm like, there's no way. We've been banging stadiums and platinums and gold dots, and there's no way this bat is passing still. And when I seen it pass at 250, I was like, wow, he did it.
That's awesome.
So this is my question, really, is that if you've got a bat that's, let's just call it 218, right? Mm-hmm. Like one of your old bats, whatever it is, one that maybe has failed, okay? Mm-hmm. And you have this bat that's 250. And ultimately the idea behind all of this was to keep really pitchers safe, safer, I guess you can say, and be able to pick the ball up a little bit better, right? Because clearly 218 is technically hotter than 250. So if it's not, then what do you think the point is of the new 240 standard if the bats are just as hot, if not hotter?
I don't think any bat that's failing at the 220 specs, I don't think this bat's going to perform better than that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but if you have a bat that's still passing at the 220, like not directly at 220, but maybe 230, and this at 250 with a completely different technology, I believe you're going to get around the same distance. I mean, as well as exit speeds through the infield. Like these balls are
pregnant, but a lot of times I said distance-wise, there wasn't much of a difference. The ball is still coming off well and carrying well. It was more of the velocity through the infield, which is kind of what they wanted to dampen down a little bit to make it safer for pitchers and for the defense. And I think, in the long run, that is a win-win. If you can still hit the home runs, if you can still hit the gaps and do the distance, but yet your infield's safer, that's a pretty big win.
Yeah, some people don't get it, the exit velos. Some people don't understand the difference in the exit velos to the infield and distance past the outfield. Like, I chose to play the outfield because I'm a little smarter than infielders. Like, you guys are crazy. You can hit as hard as you want to me out here in left field. You're not going to hurt me, But the ball may go a country mile. But even if it stayed in at that velocity, you're not going to hurt me. But if a shortstop or a pitcher tries to catch that same ball, like, you might break their damn hand. Yeah. So, I mean, I completely am all for the 240 testing, man. I mean, as well as these digital testers, which I don't know if you got that on your notes or not. I'd definitely like to talk about that too.
Actually, I put
Well,
that down. That's something I didn't.
ultimately, the main question is the 240 standard with the Pro M ball, is that going to be a big enough difference from the 220 standard with the Pro M ball? Is the bats really going to is there really a difference, right? And the only way you'll know that is if you do an apples to apples comparison, right? It's like a bat that you literally test, let's call it 220 on the nose.
Mhm.
Test 240 and we know that there's not much of a difference, right? So it might, if it's 1 or 2 miles an hour difference, that's not enough. But if it's 4 or 5 or 6 miles in an hour difference, that makes sense, right?
For sure.
Your distance can still be 400 or 430 or however far you're hitting them nowadays, but it's still. The difference is that coming through the box or coming through, coming down the lines. You got a guy like Arjun stepping up there who just absolutely murders the box. Pitchers. They're gonna get their hands broke.
Yeah.
Most everyone's got to go the next day. So I get it, right? But is there that big of a difference? That's my question.
I think between the bats getting dumbed down and these digital testers, there's a huge difference. Look at the World Series this past year. It was a surprise to me, so I know it was a surprise to a lot of people. Me being very involved with Anarchy at the time, I got down the Worlds and was like, "Wait, what? You're testing our bats every game, and you're going to keep them?" Like I immediately called. Actually, I hit up Andy Purcell. And I asked him, I was like, does Anarchy know about this? Because I'm down here with 3 bats to play AA and major. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, yeah, every bat company, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, bruh. So I called our bat company. I'm like, surprise. They're checking on our bats. And luckily, I had enough bats to get by through Worlds, but I flew home with no bats.
That's
no bats. So, you can look at how the game went or how all the big games went, us versus Dan Smith, us versus Resmondo. Like there was some home runs hit, bro, but there wasn't no incredible crowd pleasers. Besides your big country cornbread fed strong motherfucker, but besides the Ryan Harveys and the KPs, bro, and the Rileys, there really wasn't no crazy stuff hit. They're testing.
You saw a big difference,
bro.
And you saw some of the bats that performed really well too. Like a lot of people were swinging the DeMarini, the
red bat. Red bat
was performing well. It's made to be that way. It's made to open up after 10 swings though too.
And that's what I don't like, man. Go ahead.
Sorry, did you feel that the Pro M
in
Disney? Disney and Vieira.
Can you imagine the Pro M in Disney?
You feel that the Pro M was hotter than the stadium this year?
I don't think so.
Brandon, do you think that question goes more by time of day though? Were you hitting it at a different time?
Especially this time of year.
Yeah, but at the same time, when it's hot out, I could see that. Then I could see the Pro M in the long run being a better ball when it's hot than a stadium.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. It's just not as fun to hit. And I know we're keeping people safe. It's just not as fun on the offensive side. It's not as fun to hit. On the defensive side, it's not fun either because you get a lot of knuckleballs. The stadium still knuckles more than anything ever in life, but that Pro M, if you're not spinning it just right, it's not gonna go far.
I don't know. Maybe it was just our game, the games that I watched. But man, on those backfields, that Pro M, I'm talking about, it was flying farther than our games that were in the stadium.
I feel like the Pro M's that we hit in AA was good too. Yeah, the Pro M's that we hit in AA was good too. But we also had more crisp time of the year and a weird wind. When have you ever seen the wind go out of left field in the stadium? It did that a lot this year.
That shifted a couple times when I was there watching.
What do you think about the time? What do you think about the dates?
I love it.
Stay that way.
Me too.
I love it.
I thought it was
love it.
way better
It's
Yeah, I'm not
perfect,
out there
especially coming to
dying.
watch y'all and stuff. You can sit down, have a beer. The crowds were there's a lot of people. A couple of those games I went to, there was a lot of people. You know,
This is
this
so
is
Our
nice.
Friday
That's
game.
why.
I mean, huh?
Because it wasn't so freaking hot to sit in the stadium.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
for sure.
in my opinion, as a player and as a spectator, if they leave it on those dates, that would be way better than trying to move it back to September.
Way gooder.
For sure. Yeah, way more cool. I mean, in essence, you'll probably get more people show up, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, before we branch off too far, because we could keep going. You know, because there's a lot that's I've dropped down about the bats, and one of the biggest things, like when I was asking, what's the difference between the bats that you're offering and other manufacturers out there, is you're going to be able to modify your bat a little bit, right? Like the handle wise.
For sure, man. So that's the coolest part about this. I think this is like ridiculously cool. So hold on one second.
He's showing us glutes now. We gonna work out, dude. All right, pass it up. We got exercise. Yeah, just ate, man. Stuff. Exercise. What we doing?
I ain't even eat yet. So with these bats, man, you're gonna be able to. I don't know if you can read that or not, but
Oh, okay.
you're gonna be able to pick your handle. Your handle's gonna be a 43 or a 33. 43 being this bat exactly. Super stiff. It feels like a one piece almost.
Okay.
Like you step on it, you're not going to get too much bend. The 33 has a little bit more flex, more like your mic and feel. Not the hybrid handles, but the ones before the hybrid handles.
Right.
Then eventually you're going to be able to choose your barrel size. We're going to have a 12, 12 and a half, 13, 13 and a half. Right now, I believe we're coming out with the 12 and a half. I think that's what this is. And then you're going to be able to choose your weight distribution. Anything from balance, 0.25, quarter ounce, half ounce, 3/4 of an ounce, or the 1 ounce end load. So yeah, I'm pretty damn stoked about that.
And how are y'all distributing the weight in that? Is it all in the end?
Everything's going to be in the end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to have any rods running down the bat or nothing like that. We're not going to alter the barrel of the bat at all. Everything's just going to be here.
Got it.
Right. Between your stiff handle and the bat itself is basically already made. Let's make that clear. I don't want people to say, oh, he's switching the handles in the bats. Like, no. We ordered a bunch of the stiff handles. We ordered a bunch of the 33s, the more flex. All this comes in one. Only thing that I'm going to be dealing with is this.
Got it.
No, that's a lot. A lot of people bring up questions that knew this interview was coming, and they blow me up. Like, ask this. I'm like, hey, hop on the damn live and ask it, because we want you on there. But a lot of times people get it because they might get missed. But yeah, there's been a lot of comments in here, and I just know from watching that. So I got to know, on that video, your face kind of says it all. But when you hit that car, I'm like, you kind of knew. You like, tell them move. They sat there. You said kind of like F it, and you hit it. But as soon as you made contact, did you know without a doubt that ball was a soul seeker for that car?
For sure. For sure. I mean, okay, so this is how it panned out. A lot of people have their, oh my God, what happened? So I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. Clay Dickey, the president of BSC, has some connections out there in Columbus. I hit him up, asked him, is there any way I can get a field for maybe 45 minutes to an hour? Me and a couple others, we need to get video on this Juno. Cool. He made it happen. So we get out there. We had an hour time frame. We had Telford out there. We had Blue. Who else? Yeah, Clay had some folks out there. My mama came out there. It was dope. Corbin was out there. And everybody hit before me. So there was a bunch of cars going by. We would stop every time, whatever. Clay came up to me. He was like, hey, Flip, you got 15 minutes left. I'm like, oh shit, I need to hit. Like, I got to hit too.
Yeah.
So I start hitting. Cars are going by. We're stopping. And then, so I think that car had rolled by once and kind of slowed up right there. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, I don't want to hit this car. So he left and he came back. And then I think he came back again. and all in all, he was looking for clay. So, and we were the only field that was open with the lights on right there. So the next time he came by, I was going to stop and go out there, and they was like, bro, we only got like 5 minutes left. Like, just keep hitting. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. And so I'm like, tell him to go. And they had told him to go, whatever. I thought he was going to take off. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I need to finish this video. And I swung, it was just one of those, hey, I would like to scare, like, everybody wants to hit a car, but I'm not trying to hurt nobody, you know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those, I'm going to put it close to the car and see what happens. And, I got I was kind of dead on. And it didn't help that he just kind of crept up and just literally stopped right where the ball was landing. And I was like, shit.
Man. Did you have any idea that video would go viral?
Yeah, man. And
It went viral, man. It was on Sports Center.
Dude, that thing
it was
was
like 8 million views on that thing.
It was crazy.
Hey,
It was bananas.
that was a great little jump start for Juno, wasn't it?
Dude,
Sure.
hell
That's
yeah.
what I told them. That's what I told
You're
them.
right around. You went right into the business speech, man. I was like, hell yeah, look at this guy selling it. Like, you too can smash window. Juno.
Right. Juno, get one of these.
Man.
You know how to smash the ball, don't you?
You think
Right.
softball dodgeball was fun? Check this shit out. No.
It's funny because after I seen how big it was getting, I did go and check his video. I was like, how many views did this fool get for doing this crazy shit? And then I went and looked. I was like, I got more views than that. Wow. Like, this is crazy. I was just hitting the car. Like, damn.
It's everything. It was your body language, your expression. Like, I watched it. I was like, oh my, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, man, that was hilarious.
And my mama in the background was like, why would he
no.
My mom said, yeah, why would he stop there?
Dude. Hey, sometimes, man, that stuff makes, a huge impact. Like when
For sure.
I think when we did the first video that I sent you, when we were, started advertising, and it had in the background, it was a BSC tournament, and the guy, like, right at the end as the music was fading out, was talking about, you want to be a baller, you black, white, whatever, this is where to be. And then went right into the logo, and I'm like, I couldn't even time that better. So having that background there, like, sells a lot of the videos, and like that was huge. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I couldn't stop going back to it. And Liz was like, what do you watch? I said, you got to see this. Like, I was out there, I saw some of the videos. I didn't see this. I was like, look at this. Kept rewinding. I'm like, you couldn't stop watching it, man. It's just, it goes together. But it's awesome that it went viral like that. And it had to be huge for turning people to the bat. You know what I mean? I was like, what's that? What's Juno? And you got that many more eyes on it now. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. I mean, my buddy Noah had posted it first on his TikTok, I think it was, which made me get a TikTok. I'm like, what? And then he hit me up. He's like, bro, your video's going viral. I'm like, what video? And then he sent me his link, and I went to his TikTok. I was like, 1 million views. Like, what the hell? I'm like, damn, TikTok's popping. All right, let me get a TikTok. And I didn't really think nothing of it, bro. And then literally an hour later, he sends me the screenshot from ESPN asking him, could they use the footage? And then say, like, 2 hours later, Sports Illustrated ads, and then Sports Center ads. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, this was on all of the biggest platforms.
Sounds like to me
all the crazy plays you made.
Free bats. That's what it sounds like.
For sure. When these bats come in, he's definitely one of them got his name on it for sure.
And maybe even a roller bag with the cooler.
For sure. I don't mind.
Noah, I'm working for you, buddy.
A peach crown in the
Got you.
Bro, that's what Will just hit me back. I had to ask him where he's at because I knew he was on here. And he said he's in the man cave right now pouring up some of the peach crown. So
Blue or Fisher? That
Fisher.
sound like some blue. I mean, some Fisher talk.
That's some Fisher right there.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah. You know what? I'll be right back. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, man. Dude, hey, this little concoction they came up with, I don't know if you've had it, but they do that peach crown with sweet tea or with like a brisk. It's fire. Well, we used to come up with some concoctions too back in the day. You were a little mix-a-lot over there, man.
Yes, sir, mix a lot. Don't worry about that. I've got some peach crowns over here as well, but I have to work tomorrow because we are our website is popping with some sales. So,
Oh, it is. What website's that
Black
again?
Friday going on.
clutchbrandonline.com.
Well, that's
So
right.
I gotta get back in the lab and make some more things because we're selling out of crap.
So I got a
see
new
that.
love, man.
Ooh.
I got a new love.
What is that?
Oh my God. If you ain't had this, go get it.
Hay Club.
Golly. Ooh. It's pretty damn good. It's a whiskey,
Okay.
single barrel or single grain Scotch whiskey. But Will, this for you, Doug.
Yeah, Hennessy.
I feel some new conference sponsors coming, man. This guy promoting. Just so you know, anybody out there that has anything to do with those companies, this guy goes viral. So you most definitely want to get any brand you got on his back because it's.
That's the case. Get the Peach Crown in there. If that's the case, hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be some dope jerseys right there. Some Peach Crown jerseys. That'd be.
Actually, my buddy already did it, man. One of our partners. Let me see if I got this jersey in this closet real quick. One of our partners, Save On Sports, out of Ogden, Utah. He loves Crown Royal, so he always does these dope jerseys. Where's my peach one at?
Hey, Flip.
Yeah.
So Messer just started watching.
Uh-huh.
He didn't even have to say anything, but his little icon is the Juno Athletics icon.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
That's
noticed
okay.
that today.
So that tells me that answers my question for that. So
For sure.
Dude.
You see it?
that's what's. Yep.
Hold on. You see it?
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I love this company, bro. Love them guys. Yeah, Messer, I noticed that today too, man, which was shocking because I kind of been trying to stay out of it, because just because of what, I don't really want nothing to do with it, I feel like, Messer got me a job with Smash It 2 years ago, which I'm so grateful for, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Me and Messer, as you all know, are like brothers. I do anything for that dude, man. So it hasn't been official to me yet, but if it is, welcome to the family. You already know. And man, it's just gonna blow up even more. I mean, that he goes to every backyard tournament imaginable.
I think
he loves it.
It's not official. It's a matter of time before it will be because he's, it seems like you guys, like you said, you guys are close, and he's a pretty low guy. I like Mr. I've got a chance to hang out with him in Georgia when we played in I think Augusta for Military Worlds, and then got a chance to play with him. Not play with him, but hit with him in derbies and stuff, and hang out with him and get fucked up with him a couple times. And to the point where there was a manufacturer's derby and there was like the open derby. There was like Military World to like 3 derbies or whatever. We hit in the first one, we hit pretty well. Then we went to another one. And then by the third one, we were so shit-faced, we couldn't hit it out. We're not talking, Ben, according to Dustin Roberts, we're no longer allowed to comment on that. We got legal proceedings going into that now. I'm contesting. I'm getting I'm getting a recount on the home runs, and so I'm not allowed to comment until we get the official numbers back.
Oh, so you found some more votes for how many home runs you hit? Is that what?
Yeah. There's that video footage was altered. You look at it, man. There's some funky shit going on there.
Altered.
Hey, man. Hey, shit happens. Learn for it. Stay hungry. You know what I mean? Next derby coming up. But
for sure.
But let's go into a little bit of the digital tester, because I know you said you want to talk about it. I got some other things I want to branch off to, but let's talk about the digital tester. What do you think about that?
I absolutely love it. I like, I don't know, like if you watch me play, and I'm gonna answer your question, but if you watch me play, especially this year, I was in left field laughing. Like a lot of cats just couldn't do it with new bats or bats that they aren't used to, or whatever the case may have been for them. And the shit was hilarious to me. Like, I pride myself in hitting. I pride myself not only in hitting the long ball, which anybody can do this day and age, but picking defenses apart. And people having to swing, new bats or bats that aren't theirs or whatever, like I said, whatever the case may have been, And to see them so uncomfortable at the plate was amazing to me. Like, I was in left field. Some known cats would, either pop up or hit the ball, hit their perfect hole, but just a little bit of that velocity was taken off, because, I guess the bat was new or whatever, or different. And it was absolutely amazing to me. Like, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. You leveled the playing fields. People got embarrassed at the plate, I feel like, this year, which is an eye-opener for them. So I'm all for the whole digital testing thing. It sucks that they're so expensive, but I get it. We're definitely gonna invest in one. I don't understand really the technology behind it just yet, but I'm gonna, definitely do my research behind it just to understand what bats can get to before they're about to either explode or fail on these digital testers. But I'm all for the digital tester, man.
Let's ask about that, to branch off on that a little bit, because I want Brandon's viewpoint on this too. A lot of times with the old way of testing bats is you might get a bat brand new in the wrapper and the damn thing fails, or you turn it the opposite way and it passes, or you get a false reading for whatever, or you have bats that – we went to a tournament one time and I went with a team, picked up with them, and all my legit bats failed, and they had about 8-9 shade bats. They all passed. So now you're forcing me to play in a tournament with these guys. I got to swing their shade bats. So you look at that and you go, do you think this digital tester, is that going to eliminate false readings? And is it going to be more accurate? And I mean, from what you've seen so far, do you think there's a way that it could still, be subject to error?
Are they testing the home run derby bats at Military Worlds?
No, they weren't. And if they were, I would have won that damn thing. There was a lot of cheaters out there. Okay.
That's why you are. And I'm going to talk to Dustin about.
I'll put it this way: there were some bats that were pretty exclusive, and there were some bats that were just good.
My buddy, and I'm going to tell him that as you guys are getting out of the cars, all the bats go.
Just get all them bats, man. Just get them.
You know how they're scanning your head right now for?
Yeah, that's how it should be, man. I agree, 100%. Scan the bat,
like on like a grocery cart, and just.
You can't even have the bats in your bag. They have to be in your arms. You'll walk them up there like this.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Make the game legit again.
You know what I'm saying? My man over here.
Hey, real talk. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. If a guy hits 4 for 5 and you don't, it wouldn't matter. I could go up there and hit from second base. Wouldn't matter. Line drives over hard.
I just knew you going into that being number 1 seed. Now, I want y'all to know this. The last time we had this discussion,
never lived this down.
Freaking said that it was his pitcher, which was Blue.
No, Blue did a great job. Hey, Blue actually Blue grooved it. Hey, Blue was grooving him. Now, the first
Connie and I'm gonna ask BJ because they were both on.
Oh yeah, I was bullshitting though. That was all bullshit. Like Blue.
Oh yeah, now it's bullshit.
I was telling you about when I originally said that. I said, listen. I said me and Blue found the groove towards the end of that first round. Then I got to hit again and went 9 for 10, became the number 1 seed. And we were fine. When that kid went up there, that Will Taylor went up there, hit. I said, dude, you go first, man. You go first. And he went up there, hit 4 out of 5. I was like, fuck. I didn't expect that. And Blue threw me a pearl, and I hit a hard-ass line drive, and I'm like, well, I can't miss another one. Hit the next one extremely well. The next one Blue threw me. My eyes got big because it was the best pitch he threw me. And I hit absolute laser. And I was like, well, you won, buddy, because that didn't count. It was just a line drive. But I really wanted Will Taylor to win it so I could feel a little better and at least feel like I knew the guy that beat me.
On that bet.
Well, I told you, if you message me and say, hey, I was like, hey, you're Will Taylor, see the guy from Slow Pitch, whatever. I was like, man, I've been wanting to meet you for a while. And I kind of fell out of Killer Instinct. But you said, dude, I have a shirt and a hat on the line here. I'd have been like, you're Will Taylor? Fuck you. And I would have won. Because my boy has money on this shit. I ain't fucking around.
Much pressure on you to let you know that I was betting a shirt and a hat.
Yeah, you should have rolled me because I like that. I would have been like, I wouldn't have gave a shit if it was flip. I was going to flip. I respect the hell out of you. But I got to win this shit, man, because Patsy's got a lot on the line right here. He's got this hat on the line. I can't fucking around.
On the line right now.
A shirt and a hat, huh?
Hey, man.
Shirt and a hat. Lost it. First round, man.
Hey, I was going to ask you. to branch away from Worlds, because we'll go after Worlds. The BSC. Got to see you down there in Alabama. How was that for you? Did you have a good time down there?
Hey, hold on. Let me ask a question about the digital tester.
Okay, yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, Flip.
Trying to distract Patsy. My bad.
What do you say about the tester?
Remember, sorry, I cut you off a minute ago because I want.
So with the digital tester, do you think it's going to be more accurate, or is there still going to be room for error on those?
I think the digital tester is definitely going to be more accurate. I mean, there's always room for error as well. I mean, but if you look at the regular tester, it tells you that this tester may be, between, 1 and 25 points versus the digital tester says, I think, 1 and 3.
Yeah, I believe that sounds right.
25 is a big jump. Yeah, that's not a lot of room for error.
I mean, when we were getting our bats tested for the major, I think that they said that they were like the margin of error was like
very small.
On the old tester was like 20, right? Or maybe it was 25. Yeah. You're probably right. But that was like down to like 2 or 3, whatever they said. I don't know, but I know this, man. They were all in there, like dialed in, really trying to get it figured out. So I'm sure that those guys have got it like a well-oiled machine now.
So for anybody that hasn't had their bat tested by the new test yet, how does it work? When you go get your bat tested, what do they do?
Are you asking the people that's watching?
No, so for people that are watching, there's some people that probably haven't had the opportunity yet to have their bat tested by a digital tester. So when you guys go up to get your bats tested, how do they test your bat? They just scan it like they're reading a barcode off of a bag of chips?
It's very similar to the old one, but it's more precise. So what they do is they get it in there and they start wrenching down on it. But the way that how they do it, was it a crank? I think it was a crank. Anyway, I can't remember, but it's just a more precise way. It's like an old tester on steroids. It's about
I've seen all the pipes and wires coming out of it.
Yeah, it's just more. It's just a more accurate way.
Somebody leaked a picture doing Worlds.
Well,
and I don't think you should like that too much
because I didn't want to be. I didn't want.
Well, you do go viral, so that's dangerous on their part for you to.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't leak it.
Oh, okay. I thought you leaked it.
No, I haven't even
that out there.
It.
Flip did not leak that. You didn't.
No, it was a chick. I forget who it was, but it was a chick. She had posted it and posted all the bats that was failed, and I mean there was more buckets back there with failed bats in them than there was teams in the tournament. It was crazy. Yeah,
I know who it is, but I'm not going to drop her name.
Yeah, so do I. Her name just popped in my head, but I ain't going to do it that dirty.
So we'll segue off of that and transition away so we get nobody in trouble. So
let me get a couple more drinks in.
Worlds, other than I'll transition back to the BSC in Alabama, but Worlds. I know that the AA didn't go the way planned. I know I was shocked. But then you came back and made a hell of a run in the major, and fought all the way through. What are your thoughts after Worlds?
After Worlds, or what was my thought after we got our dick?
After it was all said and done, you guys, shaking hands, taking pictures, walking away from it. What were your thoughts leaving that? I mean, what were some things that how you felt? What would you?
I was very emotional after major Worlds. First and foremost, if I'm not playing with people who I like to call family, then it's not going to be fun for me. So when I'm with, the Chris Greiners, the John Williams, the Laser Days, people that I have known for a long time, and I got, this is my first time really playing with Woody Darling, people like that, you start gaining respect for on and off the field. So to do what we did in the manner that we did it with your brothers is emotional. And both of you know this. It's an emotional time. It's just like when one of your brothers are are in a slump at the plate, you try to help them out. We definitely used every match in the matchbox to do what we did, and I was not upset at all. Of course, you want to win, but at the same time, like to do what we did to beat a Dan Smith, like Dan Smith has to say for the rest of their fucking lives, we lost to one team in Major World Series in a tournament that we were built for. We have the highest budget in softball history, and we got embarrassed twice. Like, they can never live that down. I don't give a shit what they've done in the past. People are going to live right now. You know what I'm saying? So to beat those guys and to take Resmondo to the ropes, I mean, we win that game if each one of our outfielders catch a damn pop fly, myself included, during that game. I mean, you can't give teams like that extra outs. But
so are you saying that you lost the Major World Series for your team single-handedly? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not what I'm saying. No. But myself included, every outfielder that game dropped a fly ball.
It's crazy, man. And
it's like people don't get it, man, because like these aren't regular fly balls. Like people talk, but if you're not in that game, in that time, adrenaline rushing, like you don't understand. Those balls are knuckling. Even the pop flies, man. It is possible to hit a pop fly knuckleball, and if they get above those lights, bro, and you got to track them coming down, however fast they're coming, and you're still trying to run to get to your spot, and if that person don't talk to you, hey, you take it, I take it, fence, whatever the case may be, like, it's hard to catch those balls, man. Like, we make it look easy sometimes, but it's not easy. But nobody would have ever thought that we would all drop a fly ball. I'm talking from right field to me. We all dropped a fly ball in that one game.
I remember a time that we had a fly ball drop, cost us the game. Set us up for could have been really good. The team that we lost to, that we were beating in Minnesota, man, they came back and they reeled off 5 wins in a row and won it. But my boy Mike Williams dropped fly balls.
Oh no!
It essentially loses the whole thing, the whole kit.
Oh no!
Sorry, Mike. I'm never going to live that story down.
I thought when you look at the AA side of things, watching you guys, I was like, man, and then to see you come back to the major, like you guys were fired up. Like, I think got pissed off after the AA, and you guys came back with a fire and made a run. The AA, like I said, I got the chance to see it. We talked for a little bit and watched, but like I told you one-on-one, I think we saw the transition watching myself and calling my brother Tom. We were watching a game is when they started floating the pitch a little bit more. He was pump faking you guys, pump faking. And you guys were just teeing off on him, like you didn't give a shit about all that. But as soon as they transitioned and threw that more like little ASA floater pitch and was getting the call, you were hitting it well, and a couple others were hitting well because you've played a lot of USA ASA. But it seemed like a lot of guys struggle with that. And that's where me and Brandon talked about too, that you notice a lot of the guys that play upper ball or conference that don't play the ASA USA seem to struggle with that pitch. And it really showed. Because you still, I mean, granted the fact that you're a great hitter, but I think being able to play both and having that experience does also help with you being a great hitter, because we watched a lot of the great hitters start to struggle all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. Like that high pitch is not easy to deal with if you haven't dealt with it. Like, I don't want nothing flat. That's why I'm so far up in the box. Like, I don't want nothing flat. All my strikeouts, or most of my strikeouts that I'm striking out on, are flat pitches. Like, I'm not swinging at it. Like, if I'm that far up in the box and that ball's flat, then I never even think to swing at it. But when you change up, and a lot of people are the opposite when it comes to U-Trip, they work on that flat pitch. I don't work on hitting the flat pitch because I think it's a fucking ball. I ain't swinging at it anyway. You know? So when they go up there, I'm like, yeah, that's my wheelhouse. Like, you're dummy. I'm going to hit that one well. A lot of guys don't practice that, man. And I try not to have weaknesses per se. But you're right. I was sitting back watching, like, hey guys, scoot back in the box if you don't want that. Like, get in the umpire's lap. I don't give a shit what you got to do. Put that ball at the level that you're comfortable hitting it. And if they do throw it flatter, cool. That's what you want anyway. But it's hard to make your adjustments sometimes, man, mid-game. But yeah, it worked for them.
He did a couple of games after that too, like watching, like he was throwing traditional conference style, pumping, throwing, getting teed off, and then would change to that little bit of USA floating it, and it worked against other teams. So it wasn't just like it was your team that struggled with it, but it's a lot to say. And I noticed that too. I noticed where you position yourself in the box and that you took like almost that, it wasn't, I would say it was a full step. You took like that little half step back because you like catching them higher, but then you hit the shit out of it. And you watch that though, and we were at the house watching the games after that, and I go, talking with the major, and I said, dude, I think MPT's is going to come out just fired up. Because I was talking to Will, like asking Will how things were going or whatnot, just keep tabs. And he said, yeah, fired up. And you guys came out like, what was the transition there after that? I mean, did you have a talk with the guys? It was just something, cumulative that we're going forward with the major, or we're coming off just pissed and angry, we're going to show on the field?
I think, me personally, I did not have a talk with the guys. I was pretty upset. And usually, I look at myself as a team leader. But at that point in time, I have been doing a lot of talking throughout the year. And now that we're at World Series, they're fuck the talking. It's time to start showing. You know what I'm saying? So after that happened, JD, which is an amazing ball player, like I never knew really who JD was, Too Tough, until last year and this year. That dude is a team leader, like hands down one of the best athletes hitting wise that I've ever seen. And he's a very, very, very good leader. That's why we call him Dad, or Pop. He had some humble words to say to the young cats as well as the veterans of the team. John stepped up a little bit and had some words to say. I didn't really say much though. It was just time for folks to have that come to Jesus talk, as I like to say. Hey, either you're going to step up or you're not. Which one is it going to be?
Real simple.
Yeah. Like figure it out within these next couple of days. Actually, no. What do we have? 1 day?
1 day.
1 or 2 days?
1 day.
Yeah, 1 day. And so I think some cats, Orlando and a couple of cats went to BP that day away from the team. They just went to work on stuff. I think they took the young cat with him. I think Woody actually did it as well. Like people were just kind of took like half a day to just go off with themselves and just work on shit. And I think that's what kind of, honed everybody's mindset in to coming into the major World Series. And once that they found out, hey, my biggest thing was on that stadium, listen, we haven't played on the field like this all year outside of the duel. Don't get caught up in hitting the home runs. Like War by the Shore is a prime example. A lot of the guys got caught up in hitting the home runs and they're flying out at the warning track. I mean, my damn glove was worn out by the time that War by the Shore was over because all the damn pop flies I was catching. I just told the guys, hey, play your game, run these cats to death. If you're tired, I noticed as an outfielder, if you're tired of running, you're not going to be able to hit.
Don't you think
it's simple
parity now, though, in major than there has been in quite some time? Like, don't you think there's, like your team didn't have a very good Double-A, and to be completely honest, I thought you were going to come out flat in the major because you were still thinking about the Double-A, which a lot of teams do. They're still thinking, how did that happen? Why did that happen? What have you? But in my opinion, based on you guys, and you take a team like Bad Draw and a couple other teams that all year long had been beating, the two major teams. Don't you think? I mean, in your opinion, that really the major is pretty much it's up for grabs at this point in time?
I think so, man. I mean, and that kind of plays into. I feel like the major should have a cap as well, to be honest with you. I feel like they should have a point system just like everybody else. That'll stop, the Dan Smiths and the Resmondos from doing what they're trying to do, well, what they have been doing. I feel like, especially after this year, people realize more that, hey, this team can be beat on a tournament that is built just for them. Nobody has to think about shit in that tournament. Swing hard, ball go far. Like, simple. I mean, that's like Resmondo. They didn't hit well. Neither one of us played well in that winners bracket final game. They come out on Saturday. Like they went and had a whole new batch or something made up. Like it was bananas. They locked in, bro. They didn't give a shit. They had the killer instinct. So as long as you have that killer instinct, I feel like anything's up for grabs, man. I mean, we're a double-A team and we just did it, you know. So why not?
Yeah, I like seeing that, you know, the emotional come forward. And like I said, we have a couple mutual brothers with Blue. Blue had a big year. Some great opportunities for him. I've now been able to play with him on Invasion Latina for our military A team, seeing how much he's changed and grown in that leadership role he's able to fill now, with his mannerisms, how he holds himself, talks to people, and just that leadership he brings to a team. But with that, a young cat with Will Fisher that you've taken on your wing and mentored him a lot. I've loved playing with Will. Raw, talented kid. I've known it from the day I met, but there was something special about him. Gotten the opportunity to go down to Florida, get seen by the Bombers, and it all started from there. Like, he started blowing up. And then I talked to you. We kind of talked a couple times. Man, this is almost a year ago, not quite, about him. And, man, you took him under your wing, and just seeing how much he's changed as a ball player, like his approach in the box, his mindset, his attitude. Always a great attitude. He's like a sponge. He's always willing to learn from anybody, you know. And
man, that's what it takes too. Like, it does.
To see him there in those pictures with you, I mean, being a guy that I consider him family, it meant a lot to me just to see that, to see like it all kind of, you know. And I appreciate everything you've done for him as well.
Up, man. Oh, hell yeah, man. Like, I'm willing to help anybody that wants to learn, but Will was kind of like a little personal to me, man. Will was like a little brother to me, bro. Like, and not because he's black or whatever, just because of how Will thinks. Like, we think alike on and off the field. We think alike. And, you know, he used to come up to me, hey, bro, like, why are people afraid to talk to you? I'm like, bro, I have no fucking clue. He was like, well, I'm not. So can you come hit with me? Like, hell yeah, I can come hit with you, bro. Let's go do it. You know, and he's like, damn, you'll just stop what you're doing to come hit. I'm like, absolutely. You want to get better at your craft? I'm going to help you, bro. At least I'm going to try to help you. And Will just always kind of stood up for what he knew, man, and didn't really give a shit what people think. And I hope I had a little bit to do with that, just instilling that mind frame. And I'm like, listen, bro, people already think that you're going to fail. So if you get out, so the hell what? Get out, but get out hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying give no easy out, but if you're going to get out, make sure that they got to work for it. You know, you have to think about that. And just showing him my little rituals or things that I do in BP, he's like, it makes plenty of sense. And he'll actually get out there and not be afraid to try what I just told him to do, which a lot of people, you can talk to them to death and they'll go right back in the box and do the exact same shit that they were doing. And I'm like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally just told you not to do none of that.
You told him to work on one thing. When I was talking, you say, hey, I think we will Michael hit this week. And you say, hey, I want him to work on this one thing. And we talked, and I wasn't able to because of work, but he got with somebody else and worked on that one thing. I'm going to tell you this. We've been doing hit tracks until this COVID shutdown shit again. All he was doing was that one thing you told him to work on. It didn't matter. And I'm pitching against him. It didn't matter where I threw him. He's just working on that one thing. Just work on that one thing.
The hands out. Yeah.
Holding it. So you can get away from just here and get, you know, and man, is he just, nope, I'm not doing that. I throw him outside. Nope, I'm working on one thing.
Go get it.
Like, all right. But no.
For sure, man.
You know, so like I said, it was huge what you done for him and take him under your wing. And I think, you know, he needed that as a ball player. And some people are going to hate. And I've told them, you know, we've had a lot of talks about this. I said, anybody that's cool to your face and hating behind your back, it's because they're jealous, man. Like, anybody would want to be in a position you're at. So the fact that you're learning, you're that role player, and teams at that level, your guys' level, Patrick's level, need role-playing guys that know they're like, hey, I'm going to go in there and do a job when I go in. But I know that's my role. It's like, I'm going to go in and do that job. And I'm learning, and I'm developing. You know what I mean? And that's huge to have that.
For sure.
I know, like I said, it's Thanksgiving. I know we don't want to go too late tonight, so I want to rattle off some of these other ones and make sure we touch base on quite a few other little areas. BSC, Alabama, did you have a good time there? I know you're playing a little bit of ball.
Absolutely, man. I have a good time with every damn BSC event I've ever been to. I've never had a bad time, not once. Even if some bad shit happens, I still am having a great time. BSC is one of those things, man, where if I'm going to go to BSC, and I'll come back to something. But if I'm gonna go to the BSC and spend money, I'm gonna make sure I have a good time. Like me and Telford Chapman, kind of. Well, let me rephrase it. I helped Telford this year. It's his team, Red Alert, and kind of helped him this year. Sponsor it as well as last year. And a lot of people ask me, oh man, you should come play with us. You should come play with us. I'm like, I'd rather build a team to have more competition than go jump on a team or whatever. But we're not going to do it this year, which sucks. But that's one ring I don't have is a BSC ring. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
So I talked with the primetime folks this year, and I think me and him are going to go over to primetime this year. Try to help those guys out as much as we can. But I mean, every BSC event I've ever been to, bro, has been amazing. From the food, the music, the people, the ball. Like I said this last time, there's a lot of good talent over there. A lot, women and men, like a lot.
Oh yeah. That was my first BSC in probably 8 years maybe.
Yeah.
And I had a blast. I love that kind of competition. I love the vibe of the BSC. And that's why I said there's a lot. The military has its own vibe. BSC has its own vibe. And, U-Trip, ASA, I think I love playing it all, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll go play some church league and get competitive as hell. I want to win.
Yeah.
It's a great time, though. I love the environments. Go ahead, Bats.
Flip, I was just told that you got struck out by a 7-year-old in the BSC in Dothan.
It's got to be some blue shit right there.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I did.
Hey, listen.
So we were out the tournament, man, and if you know me, bro, I would play with anybody's kids. Like Orlando, for instance, everybody knows Orlando's son comes out there ready to take ground balls, ready to throw with the big dudes. And if you take it easy on him, he's like, no, uncle, throw the ball. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going, me and your daddy ain't finna get into it because I done hit you in the face. First time I played with Orlando's son, man, I'm like, oh, I don't have to let off at all. Like, he's catching these balls for me, really humming them. So whenever there's kids playing ball, I make it a point to go over there and start, playing with them, man. And I had a really, really, really good time playing with a couple cats' kids, man. And one of the kids was like dead shit serious about it. You can tell he's going to be an amazing ball player. I mean, Buddy was on the mound. He had his head backwards. He was getting the signs from the catcher, and we're hitting with like a wiffle ball bat, and he's that blitz ball.
Uh-huh.
So it's moving around a little bit. And Buddy was just, he was, yeah. And I'm like, hold on, bro, this little kid about to strike me out, time out. And at first it was just me and me, Blue, Leah, and a couple kids. And then it came to, we had a whole 2 teams. Girls and little boys, man. It was dope, man. And I took a knee because I couldn't really crouch down and swing. So I took a knee and I was swinging. And he got me on the first, and I'm like, all right. And I see people's phones coming out. Everybody's like, oh, kid's about to get him. So I'm like, I'm going to take this kid. Yeah. Watch this. I'm taking a knee with strike 2. I'm like, shit. I may not hit this at all. Come strike 3, bro. I swung so hard I didn't even sniff the ball. But he got me good, man. I made a bet. No, his dad made a bet. And I was like, you strike me out, you get my hat. And that was my black one like this. I had just got it made, my Juno hat. So that's why I got a gray one on tonight, because he confiscated my black one.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
I loved it.
That's a story that kid
man.
remember too, His dad will too. But, yo, you never guessed my kid struck up the other day.
Yeah. They definitely got it on video too, man.
That's
Those
cool.
dudes actually hit me up and was like, bro, that was the coolest shit ever. I mean, the championship game was going on. I think it was the seniors. Championship game was going on, and like cats was coming out the dugout watching us, not even watching the game. It was dope, man. I love playing with the kids. I do.
2 questions for you that I got, because I know it's getting late, but here's my 2 questions. And my first question is that what do you want to achieve this year for your team?
Yes. That was one on my list too.
we have a lot of new faces. Maybe like 4 or 5 cats. So I mean, everybody wants to win. You know, I mean, everybody wants to win. Everybody's going to be looking for us to win this year or gunning for us because of what we did last year. What I want from our team, I mean, I just want us to like each other for one, like each other and kind of have each other's backs. You know, if one man falls, you pick him up, dog. You know, you tell him what he's doing wrong and hopefully he fixes it. And I hope we win, bro. I mean, I like to chill with my team, you know. Me and Nino get to play together this year. Me and that cat came up in the ranks together. He was playing with my auto jack and I was playing with custom truck when I was playing D. And we finally get to play together. I remember, you know, when that fool finally got the major, I was super happy for him. And so I mean, it's gonna be dope this year, man.
Yeah, is he taking Biscuit's spot? Is that right?
Nah, I think he's gonna back up the Biscuit and play some infield.
Okay, very cool.
Biscuit's still with us.
Very cool. Okay.
Unless you know something I don't know.
Well, I haven't, dude. I have not asked. I have not been paying attention, not even to my own team chat. So I couldn't.
I doubt it. Hey, interviews on you now. Is Biscuit still with us?
Oh, no.
Well,
Let Biscuit speak for himself.
All right,
Biscuit's
yeah.
his contract's still under review. The ink's wet. He's waiting for a few more ducats. I don't know what that means. But.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Like it.
So
That's good. My
You got-
second
go ahead, Brandon.
question is, what are you trying to achieve with Juneau Athletics?
Good one.
I mean, that's a broad question, but I have probably a couple different answers with that. First thing, like I said, this has been my dream to be an owner of a bat manufacturer. You never know how big this can get. You know, I mean, Mike can start it off somewhere. Easton, they're just in a different field because they have some of everything under their belt, hockey included. But Easton softball, you know, that started somewhere. All these companies, Pure, you know, whatever, Adidas, DeMarini, they all started just like we're starting. So, I mean, I want to blow this bat line up, of course. You know, I mean, I want to see when I go to a ballpark that there's 4 or 5 of these Junos in each dugout. Like, you know, I mean, I hope that the people that I personally think should have my back, does have my back in this, as well as the influencers, to make this something big, man. This is a huge dream come true for me personally. So I mean, that's one of the things that I want, you know, to achieve. The second thing is I want to help build the women's program. I've talked to a couple cats about this for years now. And that's one of our main concerns is kind of striving towards helping out the women's program versus the men's. I mean, the men's is already top notch. You know, if we can get some signed women to do some cool shit and to possibly, you know, bring more sponsors to the game or, you know, bring more teams period to the game, or fly them, you know, these 5 chicks out instead of them drive this weekend and next weekend is those 5, you know, or help them with a hotel or whatever. You know, if I make the money that I want to make with this, that's my game plan behind it. And I know the rest of the owners, Mark, as well as Rip. Rip is the women's coach of the MPT team, you know, so he's definitely on board with this. Same thing with our apparel. I mean, we're going to be directing our apparel to most of the women's stuff, not the men's, you know, so that's 2 of my main goals with this here.
Great, man. Well, that's informative because obviously, you know, this gets seen by a bunch of people. A lot of people that don't know. That's why, you know, that's why I asked the questions, and that's why Travis
For sure.
is, you know, kind of figure out. Go ahead, Travis.
Number one, it's what you're doing. You're growing the game. That's what we talked about offline. It's one of the things I respect the most about you. Every time we talk to the phone rubber is you're promoting and growing the game. And that's where we go with is like, I think where Brandon's going with this too is leaving the game better than you found it and doing whatever you can to promote it and grow it, you know, and it's like, where are you going with it? And Brandon, I'll let you finish yours because I have a way to segue off that now too, because there's something else he's doing this year that we haven't talked about yet. And we'll try to make it quick as we can.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I want to hear.
So with Juneau, are you focusing primarily on USSSA for the time being, will there be a transition into USA ASA because you now are signed with Monster again as well, right?
For sure.
So I want that full circle back to Monster, which is, I think, pretty awesome because like I talked to you on the phone about, you and Daco are still really, really close. You guys are like family too. And now you're back together, that's dangerous.
For sure. Yeah, man. Carl and I have actually been in contact the past couple of years. I mean, I try to leave my areas, you know, without any bad blood, which I think I've done very well at. Carl and I had our differences, you know, and we had our words, whatever. I'm not really going to get into that, but, you know, things got made better. And I had the opportunity to, since we're not putting out an ASA back this year, to go back home, man. And I say home because a lot of those guys, we've won a lot of championships together. You know, me, Laser Dave, I mean, Steve Whaley. I mean, Steve Whaley, a lot of people don't really know about Steve Whaley, man. That dude's a fucking veteran, bro.
He's a ball.
Like, the dude's nuts. Like, he is still playing the infield at whatever age he is. He ain't young, tell you that. And, I mean, just the bond that we grew whenever we was wearing those Pepto-Bismol uniforms out there in Oklahoma. Everybody's talking bad about we had the ugliest damn uniforms. All pink. We had all lime green.
All blue.
We had the all the all blue. It was bad. But we went out there and kicked ass, man. So, I mean, when you're winning as a team, bro, it's hard not to like the people that you're winning with because you see what they're doing to help the car.
I don't know what that we're going to do. We're going to do not a follow-up. We're going to do a round table when you have time here again, and we want to get you and Daco both on here too because we talked about a lot of memories with him, with the long haul, and when Monster had over long haul. And, I mean, there's a lot there. And we could talk for damn 3 more hours with you because you're like Whaley. Here's the thing about Whaley. Whaley, our shows go a lot longer than we expected because Whaley keep branching and branching and branching and branching.
Yeah.
And he's so knowledgeable as well. I mean, Brandon just sitting like this, like, tell me more.
Yeah.
You know, we have to cut each other out. We have to look at the time, take turns, and hey, all right, we're getting this close.
Stories because he's old. That's why.
Yeah.
He's knowledgeable, man. Like when he talks to me, bro, I'm listening like,
More on you though, because you know Whaley's got his bat. Is Carl going to do another bat for Flip?
I think so, man.
I think he's going to have to.
We were just talking about it. I think he's going to put out another bat. I think I'm going to go with the Hype technology. If I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but it's already out there. So I think I'm going to go with the Hype technology. I think this one is the 24 and the 25 version, I believe. Laser Dave's bat is the other Hype technology that I think I'm going to go off of, but the newer version, I think.
Okay. Now
read on. I know there's probably going to be like maybe less than 500 made or whatever. I told him personally I didn't want a bat. I was just happy to be back, you know, with the click, man. I mean, Monster has a following, bro, like one that most don't even know of. Like, it's crazy how big the Monster following is.
I had a question for you, but I don't want to branch this too long because I know Pat's is ready to go eat some pie. But with Anarchy saying that, because we were talking about this with Daco, and I got a lot of respect for you, so we're talking about Monster, and I knew I had you coming up as well. And at that time, you said Juno, I didn't Juno. So, but with Anarchy, do you think Anarchy on the ASA side of things would have blown up like it did? And I'm not trying to put it all on you like that, because I know you're a pretty humble guy too. But do you think you're a big part of that? Because I firmly believe you were. When you went over there, they're like, oh, so now he's with them, and he's got these Monster bats, and he's been hitting Monster, and he's been performing with that. Why would he go there? They must have some really good shit. And your pink flip still goes down as like one of the hottest ones, you know. And then the white one and the black one, once you know you open them up, they were extremely hot as well.
Yeah.
Do you think you were a big part of Anarchy's success in that ASA game?
I would like to say so. I would like to say the ASA and the U-Trip side. I mean, like I said, that just goes back into believing in a product. I mean, their bats are good, you know. But I believed in the product, you know. I talked with the engineers and the R&D and people behind that, and we got along very well. Shout out to Chad. Shout out to Kevin. You know, those cats are real cool, man. And I would like to say I was a big part of why people tried it at least and fell in love with it. A lot of people may think otherwise, but I first learned about Anarchy when I was in Japan. Caesar Cass asked me to try it out. I'm like, bro, I'm good. And I had a monster in my hand. And I'm like, nah, I'm not. So you can take a picture of me, fool? Nah, I ain't doing that. But, and that was the first one that I have ever seen. Then the next year I was with them. And, yeah, I mean, you know, he sold a lot of bats, bro. And I would like to think that I was a big part of that, you know?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I think you coming back to Monza, a lot of people are like, oh, wait. So he has Juno.
Bombshell.
You weren't expecting that drop. You know what I mean? Like, so people got way into the Juno, and then they saw that, like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? And then you did that test at Benning. And, you know, what do you think of the new tech? Since you've been gone, coming back into Monza with how their new tech is, what do you think of that?
I like the hype technology. I tried Steve Whaley's bat out as well. Me personally, I don't like the inload. The barrel itself is really good. I mean, I'm hitting balls just as far with the Warthog than I am with the hype technology. But I swung Laser Dave's 2-piece and just fell in love with it. I swung this one. This one's a 24-ounce bat, but if you can wait long enough, I mean, this is the beast. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But
It was unbelievable.
Say again?
Carl told me that, and I mean, obviously I believe him, but he told me that 24 is unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. It's just a hair too light. 25s are cool, but if I wanted to like actually hit a hole with this bat, it probably wouldn't happen. But if I'm just freeing up with this bat, I'll swing it for sure.
Brandon, you haven't swung any of the new ones yet, have you?
Crazy.
I have not swung any of the new ones.
So,
nope.
I know because you've pushed them before, like when you were.
You know, like the dude is very knowledgeable, bro. Like stupid knowledgeable.
And he does a really good job with his interviews too. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah.
Good public speaker.
We've talked about having him on, like if one of us can't be here as a guest co-host, and he's been more willing to do it. I think round table is going to be huge with him as well. Having Whaley on with the round table with you guys would be awesome. To kind of go off that and focus a little.
Holler if you hear me.
Definitely has a heavier inload that you can actually feel. I think the Laser Dave's hype has a 1-ounce inload, but I don't know how Carl does it, but you can't, it doesn't feel like a log. So
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Like I don't ever swing 1-ounce inloads for real. But that bat felt great to me.
Well, Brandon, what do you guys roll off here? I know it's getting late. I know, like I said, you got some pie to eat, and I have some pie to eat as well. But
I just want to say I appreciate you guys, man, and what you guys do for the game, dog. I mean, I know me and what I do for the game. I like when people tell me, hey, man, good job. Hey, we appreciate you, you know. So I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, without platforms of what you guys are building and are a part of, people wouldn't really get to see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like we do one and the same thing. I don't do it like you guys do it, you know. I do it out in different ways or whatever, but I appreciate you guys, seriously.
We appreciate you getting on here and spending some time, man. You know, a lot of people don't know you as a person. They only see you at the ball field. Most of the time, you know, you're kind of locked in, getting ready to go play and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it makes everybody that gets on here feel like, you know, that you're approachable, and everybody else that gets on here, you know, approachable as well. And you know, it's definitely bigger than the game, man. It's something that I tell the girl, me and the girl that we coach together. You know, we say that a lot. You know, it's about, you know, your character as well. And you know, my biggest thing is I want to leave something better than I found it, and that's with anything. You know, with personal or, you know, as a father and as a husband. I mean, that's what I want to do. And you know, I feel like that's what you're doing, is trying these different avenues to figure out how you can lead this game better than you found it. So I applaud you. I'm glad to be able to help in any way, shape, or form that I can with your success, if possible. Appreciate it, definitely.
And we've had, you know, you already know how I feel about you, and I respect the hell out of you. I appreciate everything you do. And it says that when I'm out and about, I'm playing ball, I get locked in, but I watch people and how they are, and seeing you at the ball field, you're approachable. You're always there. When you're playing different ball game, you're locked in. But when the game's over and stuff, give you a few minutes. I mean, you're there for everybody. Just seeing, like I said,
for sure. I try to be.
Kids,
I try to be.
Holler if you hear me.
For double A, what do you, Patrick? We can double A or major?
I think you build a team. I think you build a fantasy team.
Okay, so it's a fantasy team where you can build any player. You got the number one golden ticket. Whoever you pick, it's just like playing the show where you take all the trade shit off. You're getting them. You got no salary cap. You pick your team, but you have to be a manager, not a player. You can't pick yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reach out when we do a roundtable or whatever. I'll give the same message to like Whaley and Daco, and we'll see who gets picked, what kind of teams we come up with.
For sure. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's going to take a little minute, man. There's so much time. Like, you'd probably be surprised because I'm probably not going to name the big name guys. I'm probably going to name some cats that y'all ain't never heard of.
That's what's up, though. There's a cat here. And
you know what would be fun? This would be fun. I'm glad that you talked about this. At some point in time, maybe we can try to make it to where we can do a fantasy softball, right?
Draft,
lowest score based on let's go highest score based on their batting average at the end of the season.
Ooh, that could be that. Could be done.
What do you think?
Now, well, I think you would have to cap the home runs, though.
Just batting average.
Yeah, but nah.
Okay, why?
If I'm able to free up every at bat like some of these guys are, bro, I'd be hitting 900.
Okay. So how about this? How about going lowest score based on pick a stat that USSSA uses, and then they have whatever they rank 1 through 100, right, or whatever the magic, right? Then you go kind of like golf, lowest score wins.
I like that. I can dig it.
So
Put a handicap on it. I like it. We'll
get a form together. I think that we'll all talk and we'll get a form together. And anybody that wants to play, they can play. And the winner can possibly win, I don't know, something from Juno, maybe a package.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's do it.
A mixture of things. Little clutch Juno package.
Yeah, a little mixture.
Like
yeah,
Let's
talk about it. Let's figure it out. That's fair,
So this is how it works when we have these shows. I come up with these little ideas, and then Patsy makes them even better. And we come up with more shit. Like, I started stirring the pot about there being a Monster clutch bat, Silver Fox, and all of a sudden that started stirring. People are like, when's that coming out? I'm like, well, I was kind of just talking shit. And all of a sudden the pot starts stirring.
Hey, some of the best ideas came from just mentions,
Yeah, sitting back, shooting the shit, for sure.
So 100%.
Well, let's go for it.
With that, I think it's time to sign off. I appreciate everything, Flip. I look forward to having you back on. Let's touch base and find a date in the future that works for you, and I'll reach out, or we can all reach out to Daco and Whaley too, and see when we can set this round table, because I think that would be something fun to watch. So
sounds like a plan.
It's got to happen. But I'll reach out to you here. I'll give you a couple days, and then I'll shoot you a message.
Yes, sir.
Start planning the date.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, Doug.
Yes, sir. Later, boss.
All right. Yep.
Bye.